welcome Dr. Joshi and thank you so much for being here with us. I would just like to start off by asking you, can you please tell us a little bit about your family and a bit about your educational background?
Thank you. Actually, I'm so happy that I'm dealing with the fourth generation of Aga Batina family, starting with Mr. Batina, then Aga and Anu, then Meher Firoz, and you're the fourth generation I'm talking to. Now, talking about my family background, I come from a small town, middle class family based in Karad, and all my education took place in Karad. After my first year BSc, that's a 13th standard now, and there was an opportunity to come to COAP, but my parents couldn't afford to send me to Pune. So I took the admission College of Engineering Karad, and I'm happy that I had education in College of Engineering Karad because I had extremely good teachers. The teachers who took interest in the students. One person guided me, and he said go to IIT, and IIT or ISC or VJTI. I applied to all the three, and I got admission in all the three. I selected IIT, did my MTech in 68. After a PhD also I wanted to continue there, so I did postdoctoral research.
Wow.
And it was Professor Sarkari from IIT. He suggested to me, he said, why don't you meet Mr. Aga, he's from Wanson, India.
So what year did you end up joining Thermax? It was
at the end of 1971. After joining here, after 1 week, Mr. Bhatna came and inquired who is Dr. Joshi. And I said, who your PhD? He said, I don't think we need PhD in this company. He was absolutely right. But whatever you do, PhD or MTech or whatever, you don't really learn what is required in the job.
Yeah.
Therefore, he used to say, become Wanson graduate. I understood the meaning of the Wanson graduate.
So then, eventually, what made you announce that Thermax was going to be your first and last job?
You see, when I joined Wanson, our company was very small. It was small scale industry, turnover of about 2 or 3 crore rupees. And I was the only PhD, and so people used to treat me with respect. And also they expected me to find answers to many things. So whenever there was a problem, they used to send me, solve the problem. It was my responsibility, but I could solve the problem. That gave me confidence. And Mr. MP Rao, who really guided me, he's one person who has changed my career completely. He taught me how to be practical in life, not just bookish, not just write formula. He said, "There is no formula in life." And to do understand customer problem, you have to be with the customer, you have to understand the problem, try to find innovative solution, and that's how you win the heart of a customer. That's how you win the order, customer confidence. And I have joined as a design engineer. It was not design of a product; it was design of customer equipment. We wanted to establish Thermax fluid heating system, Thermax. That was a new concept in India, and under MP Rao's guidance, I could visit so many customers, try to find different applications, and application engineering was our forte. With this company, I get the opportunity to travel. First time in my life, I could sit in the airplane. First time in life, they send me abroad. All this is happening here, and people are good, and Parsis are known to be kind-hearted people. So naturally, I said, why to look beyond? I said, this is my first and last job. Within my first year of joining, I made the announcement, public announcement, this is going to be my last job. Thermax is such company that people like to make a career here. So it was not, I only made an announcement, a lot of people followed it.
So then, would you say that you had a lot of mentors that had guided you through this journey?
Yes, biggest mentor was Mr. Batina, and he had a deep impression on me. Mr. Batina every morning used to spend time in my room, have a cup of tea. He used to say, you must drink more cups of tea, do thinking job, your responsibility. All these workers, 250 workers those days, their families depend on this job. You have to make sure that the jobs are intact. You have to make sure their company grows. And you have that responsibility. You are in that position. And he used to tell me various stories, etc. And he used to tell nothing about technical guidance. But technical guidance came from Mr. MP Rao, how to be practical. Although he said, I am B, you are a PhD, you learn something from me, I learn something from you. That was his attitude. He taught me so many things, use of thumb rule. He said, no calculation required, most of the solutions are on thumb rules. That's the biggest contribution of MP Rao. I use that thumb rule till my end.
So eventually all of these people sort of guided you, and then you ended up becoming head of R&D at Thermax. So you must have worked on many different types of technology.
Yes, let me tell you, my very first innovative idea I got was a membrane coil. You see our vaporous boiler, which was a 300 kg per hour boiler, was out of purview of IBR. And that was the biggest attraction. No IBR required, no regulation required. So after the condition was 22.5 liters is the capacity of water content. If you try to make coil bigger, the water content goes up, it comes under purview of IBR. So how to make a coil bigger without increasing the water content? That was a challenge. So I thought of, at the same time, the membrane panel machine was being built. I said, why can't I make membrane coil? So I just put the extension to the coil. Between two turns, I welded the tube. Took help from my colleague, Mr. Navar, how to do it. And we made a coil bigger with same water content. So from 300 kg per hour, we went 600 kg per hour. And that was big hit. And even today, the same membrane coil boilers are being sold. So that technology, which was thought of in sometime in 1972, etc., 73, it's still being pursued today.
So would you say that this was one of the technologies you were most proud of in your career?
I have many things. For the next one came a 3-pass boiler. For example, when I went for testing the thermal pack at Vapi. I still remember the day, India in Vapi. While measuring the stack temperature, it went beyond the range of the thermometer. I said, our was very inefficient. Let me analyze it. We were given drawings from Watson, and we just made as per those drawings. We never questioned the design. They had tried to question the design, and they found out the velocities are very low. To improve velocity, I say it's a 2-pass. If I make 3-pass, it will improve velocity. It will bring down stack temperature. We also found out the heat release rates were different in different models. The heat of area kilogram per hour capacity were different. So we tried to uniformity in the design, and we made our own design. And there was 3-pass design. When we made 3-pass design, a lot of our competitors copied it, and that's a big proof. If your competitors copy your design, that means you are doing right.
That means it's successful.
Right, and the same 3-pass design we follow even today.
So you've clearly made a huge impact within the company and with a lot of different people. But would you say that there was something about your experience within Thermax that you would want to change?
There were so many things. For example, I made one heat recovery steam generator, heat recovery steam generator, HRS, for Cummins engine. Cummins engine was emitting exhaust gas about 400 to 450 centigrade. And I said, if I recover the heat, I can convert to steam. When I gave this idea to Cummins, they liked the idea. They said, we'll have to place out of 100 boilers. Heat recovery was best subject. And I tried to develop many products around heat recovery. And it was my job to look at customer, find his needs, make a unit, sell him, service him, make sure happy. So with this variety of other business which R&D was doing, then Mr. Kabra said, this can't sustain. It requires separate division. So heat recovery division, HRD, was born out of needs to develop these products. And therefore, this was further taken up by Mr. Jangada, who tried to develop a basic boilers as a big technology and much larger boilers. He did much larger things. But the initiative was the heat recovery subject to be introduced. That has given big impact to company. And even today, that's being sold. Then comes the question of fluorized boiler. That story is very interesting. Fluorized boiler technology was talk of the town those days. And we were offered technology from USA, UK, Australia, etc. When I realized in USA, the technology was being developed for taking care of sulfur in the coal. In UK, they were making technology for making boiler automatic, like oil fire boiler, oil or gas fire boiler. They were not fully automatic. So the computer control boiler, they had a typical version of force circulation, horizontal coils, etc. When I looked at all the things, I said, this is not required in India. This is not required in India. And Mr. Bhatna told me long back, there's a lot of knowledge in rejects. What you should not do is very important as what you should do.
So you've really worked on so many different types of technology.
And as a result, I got opportunity to travel all over the world,
100%.
Understand various technologies, and that gives me a lot of enthusiasm. I was so much interested in the work and job that never cared for my family, children. I would always look at Thermax client, and that's all. When we went to UK, now UK we used to make thermic fluid heater in UK based on what we make in India. The way we make in India, same model was being repeated there, and I found every boiler we make, every boiler we sell, we make a loss. So there was different thinking required. So I sat down and I said, this is not way this business will survive. So what we did there was, we said, think assembly, make 100% UK. Don't import anything from India. Think assembly. Instead of buying 100 components and trying to assemble together. So each component thread is different, this and that. There are a lot of hassle about assembly, etc. So I said, only 4 assemblies and we took put together. And we made the unit, we made profit out of it. It was better looking unit, made profit out of it. We got opportunity to develop de-icer boiler for de-icing aircraft wings. We got opportunity to develop VOC incinerator, and we made the company was making losses. Company had a lot of loans. We could turn around, and the same company behind 1,000 pound profit before we kept on. So it's all because of new ideas that we put in. Then after coming back, I was asked to go to waste management division. Waste management. The waste management division, of course, everything was new to me. BOD, COD, color, this one, or what new thing I feel to me. And again, that division was losing money. When I was sent there, I had no option of say to close down this system and let's move around. They say you must make it happen. So I again thought of what needs to be done. So I tried to attend exhibitions abroad, etc. Came out with the ideas of I developed 2 products, SAF and FAB. The FAB product, which is fluidized bed aerobic bioreactor, I gave that name FAB. People call it the FAB technology. There is no FAB technology. I gave that name. So fluidized the aerobic bioreactor, FAB.
You should trademark it now.
And now, with the competitors, we are still FAB. The FAB has become generic name. And today, that same FAB is sold in large numbers. Maybe thousands of units were sold. The company made huge profit of it, and that's more satisfying. Mm-hmm. That what I develop something which used by clients are happy, and company will make profit out of it. So that's more satisfaction to you.
So after all of this, you started something called the Dr. NDJ Awards. So can you just give us a bit of background about why you started it, how you started it, what's the story behind this award?
In '98, after I left WMD, I was sent to Harvard. And after Harvard, I returned, I was asked to come to corporate office. In the corporate office, there was a vacuum in finance. So out of my interest in some finance figures, investment, I literally took charge of that investment portfolio. And company portfolio, which normally do not invest in aggressively, I took Abhay's permission and invested aggressively. In 1 year, I made huge profit for company. And because of that profit I made, large profit I made, company gave me big award, 10 lakh rupees. My reputation was being technical man to be able to solve technical problems, innovation, etc. My reputation suddenly changed to become a finance man or the investment consultant. So I said, this is not good. So I would not like to leave my imprint on the company as an investment consultant, but as a technology man. Innovation is more important for a company, and therefore I decided to initiate the award, for Innovation Award. With that 10 lakh rupees, I say every year you must give 1 lakh rupees as an Innovation Award. I wanted to leave my impression in the company as a technology man. Innovation is important, so I call it Innovation Award.
So for Thermax Innovation Day, we will be presenting this Dr. NDJ Award. So what is your thought process on who would get this award?
Normally, my one experience is, when you want to do something, it's a one person who gets idea. He gets idea, he gets possessed with the idea, he eats, drinks, sleeps with the idea, and he feels uncomfortable until the idea got to fruition. So person who has the idea has to take help of many people. So it's not that one person can do it. A person who comes up with the idea, who eats, sleeps, drinks with their idea, is to be rewarded. One of the best innovation award company has given is the assembly at the port assembly. The big ballers, big units, which can't be transported between Pune to Bombay, they thought of manufacturing those at the port and just put on the ship. Very simple idea. It required no calculations. It was just idea, and it's not the left other idea. It was idea was implemented by hiring a place, take the customer, etc. And now since then we have sold maybe thousands of crores of business done out of that idea. So any idea which not only just remains, you will take patents on it, for example. So therefore, be ahead of your competitors. Who should get the award? Ours is a commercial organization. So naturally, we like to make money out of that idea. So anybody who comes out with the idea has to implement it, sell the product, their customer use it, customer be happy, he allows you to earn money. When does customer allowed to earn money? He gets benefit out of it. He finds some value in it. Then he allows you to make money. So idea which allows you to make money are the ideas to be rewarded.
And finally, what advice would you give the younger generation or the newer generation of Thermax moving forward?
For Thermax, what is important is customer and profit. These are only two things important. You choose a project which will solve customer problems, which will solve reduce somebody else's pain, and not go by the high sounding words, and not just go by what some consultants or some advisors will tell you. For R&D man, biggest reward is his product being used by the customer, product being used and customer being happy. Today I feel so happy that so many people are using my technology, my product. I feel happy that joy is forever. Whereas you come out with some awards of 5 lakh, 10 lakh rupees, that's very temporary. So therefore, to come out with projects which are trying to solve somebody's problem, you feel customers' pains, try to reduce pain and come out with something which will make money for company. You will make money only when customers see value in it.
Yes, of course.
So
thank you so much for the advice, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.